What's up, guys? Welcome to A Trucker's Life. I am Jorge Navarro. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you've already been subscribed, welcome back, guys. And first of all, I want to start off with giving all the Hennef drivers that are subscribed to the channel, that are supporting the channel. I want to give you guys a shout out. I really appreciate the support that you guys are giving me. I run into you guys time to time, and I get the opportunity to talk to you guys. I really enjoy it. So thank you guys for that. Also want to give a shout out to the two gentlemen at Clorox that I was supposed to offload a load there with them, but unfortunately things didn't work out, and I couldn't offload because they didn't have the room. But I had great conversation with both of them, and one of them is specifically we had a lot in common. He worked on towboats, I've worked on towboats, so we had a good conversation. You know, he's got kids. You know, we had a lot of stuff in common, so we had great conversation. Seems like a great person. So shout out to you, my man. I really appreciate you supporting the channel as well, because you did subscribe right in front of me. I saw it, so hopefully don't unsubscribe. But anyways, guys, today's video, unfortunately, I lost all the footage from the video I was supposed to upload, but I'm really not that upset because I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. But guys, as new truck drivers, or as truck drivers that have already kind of been out here on the road, or truck drivers that are planning to become owner operators, this is more for you guys. And okay, here's my frustration, right? What happened yesterday to a certain driver, he broke down, his truck broke down, and he was an owner operator, so his truck broke down. He called, I'm not going to name the name of the major not trucking, but the major truck stop. It's the one that has all the hearts, so I'm just going to put it like that. Alright, but it's not just specific to them, okay? So the situation happened that he broke down, this driver broke down, he's on the side of the road, and he's got a hazmat load, okay? Well, they send my friend over to try to rescue that load. So basically that's what we do. Whenever a truck breaks down, they send another truck to rescue that particular load. They call it rescuing the load. The driver was having issues with his brakes, right? So he calls that truck stop, and they come over. So they start just replacing parts, replacing this, the air dryer, replacing valves on the back of the truck. So they're just changing parts. The guys really don't know, and this is one mistake that a lot of us make. If we're okay, let's look at it this way. If we're in a major city, okay, there are numerous amounts of shops, including the dealers, that can repair, work. You can call out, they can come work on your truck. The last people, guys, that I would ever call would be, if I am at a major city, the last people I would call are the truck stops, repair shops, repair shops. Not to disrespect you guys, if you guys work at one of these places, not to disrespect you guys, but you are not, well, I'm not going to say all of you, but some of you are not certified mechanics, and you understand mechanics because you got the job, right? But you guys are probably great at changing starters, changing alternators, changing batteries, changing tires, changing oil, stuff like that. But when it comes to specialty things like the braking system, the engine of the truck, rear end, stuff like that, maybe a brake chamber, I could see that. But all the other major components, I wouldn't call you guys. I wouldn't call you guys. I would call maybe an small independent shop that has a road service, or I would just call the Peterbilt dealership. Now, let me tell you why. This guy was sitting here on the side of the road, and they're replacing all these parts, right? And at the end of the day, the guys that came out from the Hearts told him, we can't figure it out. Every time we put a part on your truck, something else breaks. How did something else break if you haven't figured out the core issue? So when I heard this story, it was just like super frustrating to me. And then when I hear the price that they charged this gentleman, this guy, oh my gosh, $3,000, okay, give or take, around $3,000 they charged him to not repair the truck, just to change parts. And now on top of that, now he's got to pay a tow truck to come pick him up and take it to a shop. So can us as drivers have the blame? Look, we do. We have the blame as well, because in our frustrations, in the times that we're going through, especially with times right now, with everything that's going on right now, we tend to not think things out, and we think that there's a way to do a quick fix. And sometimes there might be, but when it comes to braking systems, engines, transmissions, rear end, stuff like that, there really is no other way but to take it to a proper shop, an independent shop that's going to charge you cheaper by the hour. A lot of times these major cities have decent repair shops because they work on referral basis. But right down the road was a Peterbilt dealership from where this truck broke down. And would it have been cheaper just for him to call, if they couldn't come and fix it, call the tow truck to take it 3 miles down the road and to get it repaired, or to put it in the shop? Would that have been a better option? Yes. But I do understand his frustration. I've had this happen myself. That's why I'm trying to stop you guys, if you get in this situation, not to do this stuff. Don't call those shops. I've never called those type of shops to come fix work on my truck when it's something major. It's always like a tire or something like that. But they're not the place to call. They're just not the place to call. Maybe the how do I disguise the name? Maybe the T or the P. You guys that are truck drivers, y'all know what I'm talking about. Maybe those shops can do a better job, but when it comes to the hearts and the ones that like to fly away, you know what truck stop that is? I know I'm disguising all these truck stops, guys. I just don't want them to come back at me. But anyways, those the airline pilot, those three, the hearts, airline pilot, and the ones that fly away, those are the last ones you want to call. They just, most of them are just starting their shops. They're just starting to have shops at their truck stops, and they're just not prepared for that type of work. So if anything, maybe those other two. But if I'm in a major city, guys, I'm just gonna call either a tow truck or call a independent shop. Now, yeah, I mean, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, I'd rather still just call a tow truck. I mean, I had an instance where a KW that I was driving, it just quit running, and I was in Wilcox, Arizona, matter of fact. And if you guys know the road a little bit, Wilcox from Tucson is still pretty far. And I called the tow truck. I called the tow truck to just take me over there, because I know, and the T was right down the road. That truck stop was right down the road, and I just didn't want to risk it. I just didn't want to risk it because I'm out of money. So now this guy is out of $3 grand plus a tow bill, probably about $700 to $1,000. Okay, so that's $4,000, and his issue is not fixed. That could have gone to a, let's say, if you went to the Peterbilt dealership, that money was going to go towards the repair. Now all that has been changed, and the core problem was never found. And it's frustrating how these truck stops take advantage of us truck drivers when we're most vulnerable. It's just, to me, it's just mind-boggling how they could actually take the just go out there and do that. Why couldn't the parts changer that came out there just tell him, hey, we don't do this type of work? Why couldn't he just tell him that and saved him from all the time and all the money and all the frustration that went with this? A lot of us have been there. I've been there. Friends of mine have been there. And unfortunately, this story of this guy, during these times when the loads are very, very low, he's out at least $4,000 and his problem has not been fixed. Oh man, that is so sad. But with that being said, guys, hopefully that is a lesson learned for him, and it's definitely a lesson learned for me. And God forbid, knock on wood, if something happens to hot chocolate on the road, I won't know the situation until I get into it, but I think that I will call a tow truck before I would call any of those shops. So guys, if you work at one of those shops, I really do apologize for me just saying that, but please have the courtesy of telling, you know, of telling that person or that truck driver, we don't work on this type of stuff, or I can't fix this, I don't know how. Just, I don't know how is enough, and just gone. You're not gonna, I mean, because the money is all going to the truck stop. How much are you actually making for it? You know what I mean? So it's just, all this stuff is just courtesy, and you guys know the times that we're going through right now, and it's still happening over and over again. And it's just, like I said, guys, it's just heartbreaking for me, just knowing that the times are bad and all this money that he's got to dish out, plus he lost his load, and then now who knows how long his truck's going to sit at a shop. Could be a day, could be a week, could be 2 weeks. So it's just, all this stuff together is just a bad combination. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys for joining me one more time. Guys, please don't forget to be kind to one another. Help anybody who needs help. Anybody contemplating suicide, 1-800-273-8255. Military men and women, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your service that you've done in whichever country you're from. But if you have served here in the United States, thank you so much. From a trucker's life, from my family, from myself, I really appreciate it. Peace. I'm out of here.